Good morning, everybody. Hi. So here we are on Thursday, what is it, October 22nd? And I was just going around the room and I was talking with some of you and commenting on the fact that at the beginning of this year and as we entered October, I didn't think that we would still be living in this pandemic, but we are. So I'm so happy that all of you chose to come and attend this event, which we have every year, to recognize our donors. And typically we would recognize somebody that we support and serve. This year we decided, because we were not able to have our annual meeting, that we would recognize our Fred Atkins Award and our Open Arms Award, please. Because that's very important to us as well, to be able to do public recognition. So again, I'm going to keep my remarks brief, but I did want to thank the people that give to our organization year after year. And one of the most amazing things to me this year was that even with this pandemic and living in this crisis, the people who have donated to the agency continued to do so, but also continue to do so in a much more generous capacity. And I can't express enough to all of you how important that was for the agency. Because as we entered into this pandemic and we started to incur expenses that we ordinarily would not have, right? So we started to have to spend more money on personal protective equipment. We really did spend money on ways to support the staff of the agency by purchasing lab coats for them to wear on a regular basis. We tried to do activities with the staff that just would help keep their morale up. So that's just some of what we were able to do. Yesterday, Kelly Buck and I were meeting and we were just reviewing her dashboard. So it's all about fundraising and development. We were going over this. And there's just two statistics that I really wanted to share with everybody here. So we were looking at the third quarter outcomes, and we were focusing specifically on the annual fund. And in quarter, a little bit in quarter 3, right? Yep. So last year at this time, we received 67 donations. This year, same time period, we received 96. So that's a significant increase in terms of donations, right? Then in terms of dollars, there was a 25% increase to the annual fund. Again, that's a really, I think it's a great number. The other outcome that we were looking at was really the individual donations that we received at the agency. Last year at this time, we received 34 individual donations for this time period, this quarter. And this year we were at 77. So that more than doubled from the prior year. And in terms of dollar amount, it was a 72% increase from individual donors. And so individual donors are so very, very important. And I have to believe that those who are donating to our agency believe in supporting people with disabilities. And for that, I want to thank you all. So again, I'm not going to stay up here too much longer, but I do again want to thank you. And I think we have a really lovely program. As you know, Tim Donovan is the awardee for the Fred Atkins Award, and Michael Wellauer is the awardee for the Open Arms Award. And I want to thank both gentlemen. And thank you for being very patient while we try to figure out how we can do public recognition. With that said, enjoy your breakfast, and the program will get underway in the next few minutes. Okay? Thank you. Marketing and Development at Unity House, and I want to welcome everybody, as Liz did, and to again thank the people who support us in our mission. Such important work, and it's been very challenging this year, to say the least. And yet here you all are to help us honor the folks we serve, the donors who support us, and two really amazing men who do a lot in our community. So I am going to start with the Open Arms Award. The Open Arms Award, let's me to tell you what this is. It recognizes a community member or an organization that really helps the people we support in public and at their place of business. The nominee demonstrates empathy and genuine delight when interacting with these individuals, helping them to gain a sense of place and inclusion within the community, which is a hallmark of Unity House's work. Nominations are sought in-house only. Unity House staff are invited to nominate an individual or company that exemplifies the Open Arms Award. Caring, compassion, and a commitment to recognizing ability, not disability. So this year's 9th annual Open Arms Award goes to Cuba County Sheriff Lieutenant Michael Wellauer. Mike, we'll have you come up in just a minute. Nominated by Alyssa Militello. She's a behavioral integration specialist at Unity House up at our North Street Road, IRA, which is a group home. Alyssa had to attend a training today, and sadly none of her colleagues there, they all had to be on duty. So I'm here to introduce Mike today. And I want to quickly read to you Alyssa's nomination in her words. So Alyssa says about Lieutenant Wellauer, I began working at Unity House in February of 2019. Previous to this position, I worked with juveniles at risk of placement out of their homes and or incarceration. One of the hallmarks of that past position was the development of positive relationships with law enforcement as a way to increase pro-social behaviors. Very quickly into my job at Unity House, I was able to see that some of our individuals, especially ones with forensic histories, would benefit from developing a positive relationship with law enforcement. I contacted the Sheriff's Department and was connected to Lieutenant Wellauer. I explained that I worked with adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities and that some of them had forensic backgrounds. I also explained that many of those individuals were currently calling 911 excessively on themselves and each other, and additionally, other individuals were engaging in destructive behaviors and were stealing from others. I asked Lieutenant Wellauer if he could help me educate these individuals on developing more positive coping skills and reducing their more destructive and challenging target behaviors through the development of a positive relationship with law enforcement. Lieutenant Wellauer was immediately willing to work with me and the individuals at Unity House. He has had multiple meetings with Unity House folks at his office, at their residences, and at other Unity House sites. Both he and his staff have led trainings on theft and why it is against the law. He has met individually with people to talk about coping with irritations and anger in a safe and productive way. He has also been a part of House meetings to talk about when to use emergency services and how inappropriate use of 911 can affect the resources available in a true emergency. Lieutenant Wellauer also presents as kind, compassionate, and understanding. He never dismisses the behavior of our individuals as unimportant or petty, even when they are upset over something others might view as minor. Additionally, he understands that the best interventions happen as close to the behaviors as possible and has agreed to assist Unity House individuals at a moment's notice. Lieutenant Wellauer never takes a punitive approach with our people. Instead, he is empathetic and focuses on wanting to keep people living in the community rather than threatening them with arrest and jail. And that is what we need from our Sheriff's Department. I'm going to invite our Sheriff, Brian Skank, to come up to say a few words, and then Mike will honor you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to say a few words. It's really great to come together and actually have some in-person interaction for a change. I don't know if any of you are with me, but I'm kind of zoomed out, so Zoom meetings, and I'm thinking today as I come, I don't have to worry about losing my internet connection or having people talking in the background and failing to mute, so this is great to come together, but I probably have to keep an eye on Sheriff Gould here, he might be talking in the background. Anyway, in all seriousness, what a difficult year 2020 has been for all of us to endure, and unfortunately we don't really see an end to what we're dealing with in sight. But the challenges that we face, that all of us face, even in a difficult year like this, are pale in comparison to the challenges that those that we serve with our agencies face, even in a good year. I'd like to commend and thank all of you with the Unity House for the work that you do every day. Today, more than ever, there are so many people in our community struggling that need our help. We at the Sheriff's Office see this firsthand, just as you do, each and every day. In some way, our organizations are similar in that we help those that need it most. Our mission at the Sheriff's Office states in part that we will work to secure and maintain a safe community and enhance the quality of life of all citizens. The Unity House's mission is to empower and enrich the lives of people in recovery, coping with mental illness, and/or diagnosed with developmental disability. Knowing what I know about each of our organizations and reading our mission statements, it's clear to me that our agencies have a lot in common. We serve people. We link them with the help that they need. We improve their quality of life, and we do it together. Our agencies rely on staff that understand our missions, our visions, our goals, and to be successful, these staff members must include supervisors and administrators that truly care about the people they serve and lead by example. For our Sheriff's Office, we're fortunate to have such a leader in Lieutenant Michael Wellauer. Lieutenant Wellauer recently reached his 25th anniversary with our Sheriff's Office, and I know that he has continually gone above and beyond for those that he serves and those that he leads. Answering countless critical calls for service at all hours of the day and night, coming to work after his regularly scheduled shift, answering that telephone call in the middle of the night, without hesitation countless times to come in and help somebody that he doesn't know that needs help. Stepping up to help schools and organizations with safety planning, volunteering to help feed others that are dealing with hunger, checking on and helping the homeless, improving the quality of life of countless people by helping them with kindness and compassion. And I could certainly go on and on. He opens his arms to others. He doesn't do it for the recognition. He does it because he truly cares about our community and the people that we serve. I can say that because I've witnessed it over and over for the past 23 plus years. I'd like to say thank you, Lieutenant, for your service and commitment to our Sheriff's Office, but more importantly, for your commitment to those that need us most. You are certainly deserving of this award and recognition. Congratulations. Just a little bit, but I'd just like to quickly congratulate Tim. I know Tim's being recognized for the Atkins Award today, so I'd like to congratulate you, Tim. And not only do our agencies rely on our staff and our partnerships, but we rely on others that understand the importance of community service and that commit their time to helping those in need. So I'd like to commend you for the work that you do and thank you for your service as well. Thank you again for this opportunity and for what you all do in our community to make it a better place to live for not only those in need, but for all of us. Keep doing what you all do. Be safe and have a great day. Thank you.
Here for you, but I just wanted to acknowledge a few things. I'm honored to be here. I thank Unity House for hosting and honoring me in this way. And for Alyssa, she's a great, persistent member of the Unity House staff. I'll share a quick story. I'm often the one that gets the calls from various members of our community if they're looking for somebody to come out, connect, an event, or what have you. So Alyssa ended up at my phone, had a need, and I decided, rather than, assign it to somebody, I decided I would take this one and go out and meet with the folks. And a few days later, a few weeks later, she called me up. She had another request, and it was outside, it was inside the city of Auburn, and I said, well, I need to check with the Auburn Police Department. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. And she kind of cleared her throat and she said, well, when I found somebody that I'm comfortable working with, they're my person and I'm not going to call anyone else. I appreciate the persistence and the honor that she's given me for the nomination. I also like to thank the sheriff. Under Sheriff couldn't be here this morning, Detective Lieutenant Cornelius, Sergeant Axton for joining us. And I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that I don't stand up here alone. My foundation and my rock is my wife Isabel, who was able to join me. A lot of who I am because of my wife and the support that I have. And then also I want to say that I stand here humbled at this honor, but I'm a part of a larger organization, and it could be any number of folks that are doing the sorts of things the sheriff spoke of every day. So I also want to say thank you to the people I work with, the sheriff's office, and I appreciate it. Appreciate the honor. Thank you. Congratulations also to Tim. It's been an honor working with you as well. Thank you.
Now we're going to move on to our second award of the morning, the 10th Annual Fred Atkins Community Service Award. We have another, we were going to have two, but I guess one hasn't come, but Susan Martini is with us this morning. She was the 2016 awardee, and she's also on the committee, along with Carolyn Heiza and Amber Amadon, and I don't see Sarah Polinsky right now, but that is our small committee. We get together every year to read nominations from the community for someone from Cayuga County who is outstanding in their efforts to provide good community service in the neighborhood. So I'm going to have Susan Martini please come up and present Tim Donovan with this year's 10th Annual Fred Atkins Community Service Award. Susan, you're on.
I just think it's nice to be in a room and see faces and not on Zoom. I agree. When I was asked by Kelly to introduce the 2020 winner of the 10th Annual Fred Atkins Community Service Award, my first thought was, where do I start? I was indeed the recipient of the 2016 award and was flabbergasted and thrilled to be recognized. And as Kelly mentioned, I also served on the selection committee, and that's always a lot of fun. I did get the opportunity to meet Fred Atkins when I was the executive director of the American Red Cross here in Cayuga County, and he was our treasurer. Fred was a ray of sunshine. He came into our office at least once a week, and he was just delightful. He enjoyed life, and he had so many interests that were reflected in his community service and volunteer work. Now, I'm sure many of you know Tim Donovan, but perhaps you're not aware of the scope of his community service, not only here in Auburn and Cayuga County, but the rest of Central New York as well. The list is long, so bear with me, and it's almost as varied as Fred's involvement. Tim is a 2010 graduate of Leadership Cayuga, and he certainly took the pledge to be a community-minded individual committed to using their talents to add to the vitality of our community and to its heart. His resume is 3 pages long and packed full of not-for-profits that he has been involved with and is involved with. I've only selected a few to tell you about. Tim has been involved with HEAL, or the Heroin Epidemic Action League, Nick's Ride for Friends, Auburn City Misdemeanor Drug Court, Recovery Counseling Services. He serves as a certified ombudsman for Arise. He serves at CAP on many different committees. He serves on the Human Services Coalition, and I can attest to his dedication to this community as we served together on many committees for many years on the Human Services Coalition. He's been intimately involved with Chapel House Men's Homeless Shelter, the Salvation Army Advisory Board and Community Outreach Committee, Auburn Public Theater, partnering with the Community Outreach Program for the annual Coat Drive, Save Our Hotline Advocate and Take Back the Night committee member, Cayuga County Homeless Task Force, Cayuga County Youth Homeless Task Force, the Ancient Order of Hibernians, Auburn and Skinny Atlas Rotary Clubs, Habitat for Humanity, Lunches for Love, Networker, Hospice of the Finger Lakes, he's certified in patient care, the American Red Cross, Partners for Results, Friends of Daylight House Women's Shelter, the Seward Museum, the Schweinfurth Art Center, Holy Family Church, and the Central New York Housing and Homeless Coalition, along with the Hunger Task Force. It is obvious that Tim sees a need in our community and jumps right in to help out. In his spare time, Tim says he likes to bike, bowl, and play Scrabble. I'm not sure when that spare time is. His employment record is as varied as well and includes marketing specialist at Auburn Public Theater, security guard, resident director at Lattimore Hall, and correctional officer. Tim was nominated by his good friend Tom McKellop, who wrote that Tim demonstrates compassion while interacting with homeless youth and adults and enthusiastically volunteers to help the homeless and needy in every way. They served together on the Cayuga County Community Service Award for 6 years, and during this time, Tim successfully campaigned for sheltered bus stops for mental health clients on North Street, Genesee Street, and Wright Avenue locations. Tom also mentioned that Tim volunteers assisting Tom, gotta keep all those guys straight, with presentations to Grace House clients concerning services offered through the job hunting and employment group at Westminster Presbyterian Church that Tom facilitates. Lastly, Tim is involved with the Knights of Columbus Soup Kitchen every Tuesday, helping to serve 45 to 50 guests meals. I appreciate reading Tim's regular columns in the Citizen, which disclose an open and honest acquaintance with life events. His themes are often personal and topical to events in our community, ranging from prevention and educational themes, including the stigma of addiction and the danger of vaping. Tim is courageous and profound in his volunteer work, which make Auburn and Cayuga County a better place to live. As you know, perhaps you don't know, Tim has donated a portion of his award to the Hunger Task Force. And on behalf of your community, thank you, Tim. And does he come forward now, Kelly?
Yes.
Yes? Tim, come forward.
Well, good morning, everyone. Susan stole some of my thunder there. But it was well received, I'm sure, by everybody here and myself. Thank you, Susan, for a wonderful introduction. And also, I'd like to congratulate Lieutenant Michael Wallauer for his service, for receiving the vote for an Adult Arms Award. I'm sure Isabel and their family, very close family, I'm sure you're all proud of him. He's truly said the rock of the foundation. I want to thank Unity House of Cayuga County for persevering to be able to put this breakfast together this morning. It's been a challenge, but we all made it here, and that's the blessing of all coming together here and being as one, and that's wonderful. I know Lieutenant Wallauer shared a story. You say in a speech, a little amusing, and I'm involved with Unity House. I was a recipient of the supportive housing program. Where did our executive director go? Oh, there she is. I just want to tell a little story about Liz. Back in 2011, I visited the site of my Green Avenue with my case manager, my caseworker, and I needed important paperwork, either reviewed, verbally approved, or signed. And she wasn't there. It was a bad snowstorm that afternoon. So I walked from there. I wanted to get the bus, Central Bus, which I rode down to Wright Avenue. And I'm walking hurriedly in a blinding snowstorm, slipping on the sidewalk, trying to keep the paper dry. I get down to Genesee Street by the corner of Genesee and South. I'm running for the bus, and the bus is pulling away. And I'm a little furious now. I said, I missed the bus, but I got to get down to right after the administration office. So I am walking down. I am running down. I'm in the road. It's slushy. It's a snowstorm. And I get to the right administrative office. And I walked in, and Versal, remember Versal, greeted me. I knew Versal. I said, Versal, who is here? She goes, oh my God, you Tim, look at you. I had 4 inches of snow on my head. And I said, Versal, who's here? She goes, well, Liz is here. She's doing all that. I said, can you see her? Can I see her, please? So I'm waiting, and I'm waiting to look down the hallway, and Liz is coming up to me. And she goes, my God, Tim, have you seen it out? She goes, don't you have better things to do? And I said, yes, Liz, I do. I said, just walk down here from site 1 to here. I need you to verbalize or just approve this for me because it was important to me to move forward. And she did. So just one experience I had with our executive director here today. I am overwhelmed with gratitude to have selected to receive the Freddie Atkins Community Service Award. Thank you all for being here to share this occasion with me. I have devoted many hours of serving the community, and it really means a lot to me that the work I am passionate about also resonates with others. Especially important to me is the privilege of being a volunteer and an advocate for Unity House of Cuyahoga County for the past 10 years. I truly feel honored to have my work recognized in this way by Unity House of Cuyahoga County. I would also like to thank Tom McKellar, who sponsored me for this award. Unfortunately, I got a call at 6:45 this morning from Tom and his elderly mother. She's 97 years old. He's been a long-time caretaker, and she felt ill overnight, so he couldn't be here. He felt bad, and I understood. So I thank him for being my sponsor. Winning the Freddie Atkins Award is not something I did alone, and there are many others who deserve to share this award. And as Susan mentioned, I want to thank some of the local nonprofits that allowed me to volunteer with them. And she mentioned the Community Services Board of Cuyahoga County, the Drug-Free Community Coalition, Cuyahoga County Action Program, Center Cuyahoga County Almost Homeless Task Force Coalition, for giving me the opportunity to serve as their community representative. And in the Auburn Public Theater. I've also been active in fundraising and community outreach for several local community food pantries and participation in local community soup kitchens. I am a very proud member of the Knights of Columbus Council 207, and I'm a 4th degree Knight of the Knights of Columbus Council 107-109, participating in local charitable work. I was a 5-year member of the Auburn Rotary Club, and currently just became a new member of the Skinny Hills Rotary Hilltop Sunrise Club. The Rotary motto is service above self, and I try to live that by myself. And a special thank you to the Auburn City Misdemeanor Felony Drug Court. I was there as a certified urinalysis trainer, and I played the role of a mentor to help the participants in the program. My experience there played a critical role in my early recovery. As a volunteer and influence to me where I am in my recovery today. This coming November 6th, I'll be celebrating 14 years of Diamond sobriety. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. It's special to me, and I didn't do it alone. And I'm grateful for my AA program. I'm very proud of the 9th annual Cuyahoga County Men's, Women's, and Children's Homeless Coat Drive, which Susan mentioned, which is coming up in December. The coat drive provides necessary clothing, boots, and related accessories for our community homeless population. And I also want to thank the citizens for giving me the monthly platform to write a column on abuse and addiction, which educates and informs the community on alcohol substance abuse issues, and a new column called Mental Health Awareness, which goes to the citizen bi-monthly, which educates and informs the community on mental health issues. I'd like to pause here to say a little about a person who was a longtime friend, mentor, and spiritual advisor to me. Joseph P. Flanagan, who passed away unexpectedly on July 10th of this year. What a valuable role he played in my life, in my recovery, and in many other areas. He was very happy when he learned that I had won the Fred Atkins Award. If I were troubled or needed to talk to Joe, I could find him at any one of our local coffee shops around town. I wish he could be here with us. This morning, I'm still grieving over his loss. In Joe's memory, I am going to make a donation of $50 to Matthew House. Joe was one of its co-founders, and he continued to support it throughout his lifetime. In 2021, I am going to advocate and dedicate that year for Matthew House. He was also an advocate for hospice of the Finger Lakes. I'm dedicating that year to both through nonprofits for fundraising and advocacy. My first opportunity to volunteer in Auburn was one of the co-founders and first volunteers at Chapel House Men's Shelter. I'm currently on the board of the directors and serve as a community representative. And yes, in pursuing my recovery and my challenge moving forward, I'm grateful they did house me. That was my residence in home twice for a week or so. So when I needed shelter, the Woodward provided it. I have worked with most of you here today and hope to continue working with you. I will also continue my efforts as a volunteer and advocate for the community, and I intend to do so for many years to come. I am humbled and appreciative of this recognition, support, and encouragement you have given me today. I want to use this platform here on the topic of stigma. I would like to use this opportunity to address the topic of stigma, which has profound impact on individuals who are in recovery from alcohol and substance abuse, mental health issues, and people with developmental disabilities issues. Currently in our community, there is a program to recognize the effects of stigma and its impact on its individuals in our recovery community. As an advocate, I'm very happy this topic is being addressed. We all have to renew our efforts to reduce the devastating effects of stigma in one person's recovery. The mental health research Perkins and Pepper wrote about this stigma in 2001. Reducing the person to nothing more than their difficulties is one of the most damaging forms of language. It denies the existence of any fact of the person in relevant roles or characteristics other than their diagnosis. Do I have the word? I just want to share. Oh, underneath? Oh, I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to share this message. I don't share this award alone. I want to thank my Heavenly Father, and this I share with Him. For it was on the 20th day of November, 2006, after a long night of prayer with my rosary beads, I laid in a hospital bed at Auburn Memorial Hospital. I surrendered to my Heavenly Father my agonizing and devastating disease of alcoholism. I asked Him to come into my heart, heal me, and said, God, your will be done. Your will be done, not mine. During the night, as I slept, the hours passed into the morning. My Heavenly Father had granted upon me, through the power of the Holy Spirit, a new beginning, a new life, a new purpose, and what have become later to become is a new ministry. And for that I am ever grateful. I just want to share this brief prayer. I'll be ending in this brief prayer. Father, I know it is you, and only you, who possesses the power to direct my steps. I pray that my plans would align with your plans for my life. I know and trust that the plans you have for me are good. I pray that you will direct each and every one of my steps, allowing me to be influenced by the Spirit of your grace. May all my steps glorify you, and may I never doubt the plans you have for me. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, everybody, and good morning.
We actually, I received a letter from Rick Corporate.
Yes.
Is that name familiar to you? It's your cousin.
My cousin.
Yeah, and he, in this letter, was expressing how proud all of your corporate cousins are of you and impressed by all of what you have done for the Auburn and Cayuga County community. And they inserted in the letter was a card that I'm going to read to you from your cousins, and then I'll give you the card. And the font is really small, so here we go, Tim. Congratulations on receiving Unity House's Atkins Community Service Award on behalf of your many efforts to support the Auburn community. Your generosity defines you and is a testament to living life to its fullest and growing along your journey. Your corporate cousins are incredibly proud of you and join with the Auburn community in honoring your service. I believe Rita and Donovan are looking down at you from above and cheering, "That's our boy." Warm regards, Rick Corcoran. And we have this for you as well, Tim. But just, just a few quick words. Tim and I do go way back in many different capacities, right? And we've always been able to have honest and open conversations, and sometimes those conversations were not always easy. But he's also been one of the strongest advocates for Unity House of Cayuga County, Inc. And again, as evidenced by the fact that when we moved to Wright Ave to have our administrative offices there, there wasn't a bus stop for people to be able to get there. And so he advocated heavily for us to be able to have that. And that's just one of the innumerable things that he has done for our agency. And so, it really is our honor, Tim, to recognize you with this award. It is truly, truly deserving. So, thank you. So I just wanted to hit on something that Tim mentioned in his speech, the fact that Auburn and Cayuga County are working on stigma, because it is alive and well, not only in Auburn and in Cayuga County, but I think across this nation. And people with disabilities really do carry around labels, lots of labels. And I know through the years, as I was working with people with disabilities, it used to really annoy me when I would hear the wheelchair person, right? Nobody says the eyeglass person, right? Nobody says, what's another example I could give? It's not coming to me, but I think if we could all just get in the mindset of person first, right? So yeah, that's Darlene, and she's the chief operating officer, and oh yeah, she wears glasses, right? It's just it's a simple switch for all of us in our communities to put the person first and worry about all of that other stuff afterwards. So I'm really glad. I didn't realize that there was an organized effort. So I learned something from you today, Tim.
I just want to share one salvage with us here today. My guest is the director of the Human Studies Community Group, and she's done a wonderful job at moving this topic forward.
So this concludes our event. I guess, it's been a hard year for all of us, and we have a lot of conversations at work. Periodically, Darlene and I have to remind ourselves that we're still living in a crisis, that we're still living with a lot of violence that is happening in this country. And we're living in an election year that has been really interesting, to say the least. And all of that, I think it's just been overwhelming to us. It's overwhelming that some days we feel sad when we wake up in the morning, and some days we wake up and we feel like we can conquer it all, and our emotions have been all over the place. But at Unity House, the one thing that I would like to say is that all of the staff come to work prepared always to put their best foot forward in spite of all of those things that are going on in the community. And I am pretty certain that that's the same for the Sheriff's Department, for the healing communities, and for every organization and business in our community. So with that, I thank you all for attending. It is really nice to be in person, right? I wish we could do more of it. Have a good day, and stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.
As she said, my name is Patrick. I'm with Assemblyman Finch's office. The Assemblyman could not attend this morning, but he and Moshe did send their best. He did ask me to come here today to present New York State resolutions to both honorees. So I will start off with, and I promise you I won't read them because we might be here until lunchtime. So I just want to start off by reading a New York State citation honoring Lieutenant Michael J. Rowell upon the occasion of his designation as recipient of the 9th Annual Unity House Open Arms Award. Be it resolved that as a duly elected member of the Assembly of the State of New York, I recognize and pay tribute to this outstanding officer of the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Office, deserving the title of the 2020 Unity House Open Arms Award recipient, and who is worthy of the esteem of both this community and the great state of New York. Congratulations. We also have another New York State resolution honoring Timothy A. Donovan upon the occasion of his designation as the recipient of the 10th Annual Fred Atkins Community Service Award by the Unity House of Cuyahoga County. Be it resolved that as a duly elected member of the Assembly of the State of New York, I recognize and pay tribute to this outstanding man, deserving the title of the 2020 Fred Atkins Community Service Award recipient, and who is worthy of the esteem of both this community and the great state of New York.
Thank you, Patrick, and Assemblyman Finch's office. So one last time, let's have one more round of applause for our two awardees, Timothy Donovan and Michael Wellauer. Thank you all for coming. It was so nice to see everybody in person, and thank you so much for your support of the Auburn community and of Unity House's mission. We can't be more grateful. Go into the holiday season. Oops, and we have our board president who wants to say something. You're not coming up.
I say hello to the chair.
Oh,